to Soul Tea with Marie, which is me, where we talk about all things metaphysical, and I will be taking a call this evening. I do want to talk about a certain subject tonight because I always ask my guides, what should I talk about? What's on people's minds? What's hurting somebody's heart out there? And for whatever reason, Spirit has brought me to talk about soulmates and twin flames. So someone out there is dealing, or maybe more than one of you is dealing with a twin flame and what the heck that means. And I get the feeling that it's destroying your life to a certain degree because you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to handle it, what's happening. And I'm guessing that, the runner, if you've heard that before, is happening as well. So really quick, and I'm going to talk about this until I get a caller because there's a lot to unpack, but it's a lot. So soulmates, really quick. A soulmate can be anybody. It can be your mother, your father, a relationship. It can be a neighbor. Your soulmate can even be your pet. You can have a soul connection by going in and getting a coffee and you'll feel a connection to someone and you'll gain some type of knowledge just in that interconnection with them. And that's all that you were supposed to do, just have that soul connection. And then you have a best friend soulmate that you may have for your whole life, or you could have a relationship that's called a karmic soulmate that's there to teach you all kinds of things. But so is your twin flame. So the difference between a karmic, it's usually we talk about karmic soulmates and twin flames is, well, there's a few things. One of the main things will be a spiritual awakening will happen with you. You could have met, and the other thing is your twin flame, you probably met once before, like in your younger years, or you met them and it didn't happen. And then you went through life and you journeyed and it's like your soul awakened without you realizing it. And then you see them again. Sometimes it happens 20 years down the road. You had this whole life and now you see them again and oh my gosh, who is this person? And you are instantly in love with them. And it's not always a relationship. Sometimes you are brought together to, basically, you're brought together to better something in the world, to be of service. You come together to be in service, to maybe create a book or a charity, and then you separate again. You don't always stay together, but some twin flames do. They have a relationship and they get married or they come into union. We'll say into union, and they stay together until they pass to the other side. That doesn't have to happen, but you are here to ascend. So basically, when you realize that you have a twin flame, and I do believe that all of us have a twin flame eventually. I don't think every single one of us does right now, but I think as your soul evolves, and everything is a choice. So if you want a twin flame, if you want to have that type of connection with someone, I believe that we have the free will and the choice to ask for that. I know that there is two schools of thought. There is we're one soul that splits apart and we mirror each other and that's your twin flame. There's also the other school of thought where it's two souls and we come together. And that creates a twin flame. You become one. So you're one that separates into two and then you find each other again, or you are two that come together, but when you come to Earth, you split apart, if that makes sense. And I have a caller, so I will put that on hold and we can discuss the rest of that the next time I am here. Vinny, are you here?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. Let me just get a piece of paper here so we can. All right. And may I ask why, what is your reason for calling in tonight? How is your heart hurting?
My feeling, because I've been separated 2 years ago from domestic violence, emotional abuse, for 17 years married. So until now, I don't know how to trust men anymore. I'm just scared. I'm just worried. I believe there is someone out there. It's a nice person, but I don't. At the moment, I don't know how to believe how lucky I am to get one of them, something like that. So I don't know. Still don't know what to do.
So you're
to get.
you're getting out of an abusive situation, and you're looking for someone to come into your life.
Yeah, I try to open my mind. You know, that would be nice if I have someone that I love and very laid back person. But sometimes I just pull myself. No, I don't need that. I don't want to end up fighting. You know, every relationship there is must be argument, there is must be jealousy, and I don't want to involve that anymore. So I'm in between. Sometimes I miss to have a boyfriend, but sometimes no, I prefer being single. So I don't know what is my direction.
I see. So I just want to say that obviously I am a psychic, I'm an intuitive, and I am not a therapist. I just want to let you know that. I mean, I know you know that, but I need to say that before we proceed. And so this is what my guides are telling me with you. I know that you're looking for someone to share your life with, but I also can see that you're actually on the fence of that. And I believe if you haven't had therapy yet, I do think that you need to go in and have some therapy on being, I want to say, trauma bonded to the person that you were with, because there was, and I'm getting that there was narcissistic abuse there, as well as, and you didn't say it, but I'm going to say it, which is there was some physical abuse. It may not have been to the point that it was extreme, but there was pushing and in your face. It was very much in your face physical abuse. And I believe that you hold on to that and you have protected yourself, that even though you want love, you also don't want it because it scares you, and not just mentally and emotionally, but it scares you physically as well. This person made you feel very small, because I can see you being like in the corner, crouched down, but mentally speaking, emotionally speaking, crouched down. And I do see that your heart is open to be with someone. Absolutely. But yes. I also see that you don't have the skills of how to open your heart when you do meet someone, and I do believe you will. I don't think that's going to happen right now. I don't see that coming into your life right now. If someone comes into your life, I don't know how healthy that will be for you. They may be fine, but who I am seeing wouldn't be for a while. The one that's being projected to me, that you need to do some work on yourself, to take baby steps on how to open yourself up to that relationship. But also, when you get with the person, they also would need to, they don't need to, I shouldn't say, it would be beneficial if they went ahead and did some type of therapy with you as well. whether that's, actually going to a therapist or doing some type of workshop or reading a book together. I think reading a book together, reading a book together that has some questions and you can write down things, because there's a lot that you keep in your head that you don't say out loud. And I think you would be really good at writing it down and showing your partner, whomever you want to be with, what's going on up there. It's another way to communicate, because the person that you were with before, what my guys were showing me is that your mouth was covered. So your ex covered your mouth, so to speak. You couldn't talk, you couldn't say who you were. You hid a lot of the true essence of you, even when it came to your hobbies, and something with your career, your job, and your ex. That was a huge issue with the two of you.
Yeah.
Either you gave it up completely, or he forced you to walk away from it, or there's something there that it just somehow it got destroyed. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I get it now. Yeah. Still need the time, I guess. How I still don't know how myself to be healing. Yeah, I have therapies, and then she just keeps saying you need to love yourself. Don't you ever feel bad if you want to spend your money to buy a new clothes or go to beauty salon? You need to love yourself or something like that. Yeah, I try still.
Right. All of that is okay. It's good, love yourself and, get your nails done, do your hair, but that doesn't heal the core of who you are. That doesn't heal all the damage that's been done. And you need to reach way down deep and pull it out and look at it and analyze it and let it go. That's what you really need to do. So I would say more of a psychotherapist, if you wanted to go in that direction. I would look for books. I would and get a journal, so that you can start writing out what this person did to you. Even write out the story of how the two of you got together and what happened, so you can look at it. So you're a visual person, more so than just talking. You need to literally see it on paper and look at it. Even I think even painting or drawing, you just like lots of visual around you. And that is how you will be able to let it go. But you haven't gone there yet. I can feel it on you. You still carry the weight of all of it. And somehow he is still affecting your life. Either he's still in your life, or he has strings to your life that he comes in and out. Somehow he's still attached to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Mara, I try doing it and listen, like you said. No worries. Thank you very much for your advice, and you have a good night.
You too. Namaste. Okay. So it's hard when we experience relationships like that. They can really hurt us emotionally and mentally, and to try and move on or move forward, we don't ever actually move on from it. We just have to move forward. It's the same thing with grieving. When we get out of a relationship that has basically destroyed us, we need time to mourn it. We need time to mourn that situation, and then figure out how we're going to go about bringing someone else into our life. And sometimes we don't. Not everyone does. Not everyone is able to let go of all of that pain. But I know that last caller really wants to be loved, and she is caged. And a lot of people are caged in their own in their own life because of what has happened to them. And I can't give therapeutic advice. I can only give what my guides tell me. And what that is figuring out how to get that pain out. And the way to get the pain out is to look at it. You need to figure out how you're going to look at it, whether you're going to write it down, whether you're going to talk about it to yourself in your car, whether you have a sounding board that they don't say anything, but somewhere and then my guides are also telling me it's not just that. You have to trust. You have to learn to trust. So you have to actually step out and do something out of your comfort zone. So say you've always wanted to, I'm going to use this analogy, but say you always want to jump out of an airplane, but you're scared to death to jump out of an airplane. My guys tell me you got to go do it anyway. Now, I'm not telling anyone to jump out of an airplane, okay? But say you've always wanted to do karaoke and you never did it before. Go do it, because you're stepping out of who you are in your day-to-day life. And you're going to get up on that stage, you're going to sing, and you're totally going to fail, but you're going to feel alive. And that's what's missing for you, is feeling alive again. So you can go through everything that you've been through, but the next step is feeling alive and doing those things that you would never have done before. And now you're going to do them. The more you do something to feel alive in a healthy, constructive way, please don't drive 200 miles down the road. We don't want you doing that. But doing karaoke or going and painting somewhere, or taking using clay and making, a mug out of clay, something that is totally different, picking up an instrument and learning it. Whatever you have to do to use all of your senses, and it invokes the fear in you, but you're safe when you do it. So karaoke, it invokes fear, you do it, you come off stage, you feel exhilarated, embarrassed, alive, you go home, you're so proud of yourself, you can't believe you did this. That is how you slowly rebuild yourself, and how you learn to allow love to come back into your life. It takes time. You can't do it overnight. It could take months, and sometimes it's years, and sometimes it's a lifetime. And it's not until the end of our life, if we're talking about romantic relationships, that we find someone. Or some of us are on the fast track and we can heal and get there, and we're ready to trust and jump in the deep end again. I personally am not one of those people, but they're out there. And if you're that's great. But it is all about jumping into the deep end again, slowly jumping in when you get into a relationship, because you got to look for those red flags. You have to know what they are. You don't want to get into the same situation again. So when you face the fear and you have all of this euphoria and you're feeling good about yourself and you're getting confident and you know who you are, and then you go and you start dating again, you take all that confidence with you, but you have to also look at the past and remember those red flags that you saw and what you don't want in your relationship again. So you have to remember that as well. So that is my advice on how do you move on. And for those of us who don't want to be in a relationship again, that's okay too. If you are on a soul's journey and you want to self-heal and you want to see where your gifts take you, or you want to see where your passions, your creativity, your career wants to go, and that's all you want in your life, and you want to have friends, and you want to drink tea in London, and you want to go walk the Camino, and this is what brings you complete fulfillment, that's okay too. And perhaps for you do believe you've been through enough when it comes to relationships, whether it's with your parents, friends, romantic, and now you are working on yourself, and that's where you're going to go and for the rest of your life. That's absolutely okay too. I personally do believe that we come back here, or if you're a star seed, you don't come here, you go back to Andromeda, or you go to Syria or you're Sirius or, Arcturian, which we can talk about that sometime if you like. But so maybe you don't come here and you go explore something else. This is your human experience to live it any way you want. And you can do relatively anything you want. You just have to really want it. And you have to be able to accept all the consequences that come with your choices. And I hope you pick good choices. And and again, not choices not to harm anyone, obviously. I think we have a few more minutes. So I just want to go back to the twin, since we're talking about this and we're talking about twin flames, which is interesting, that, and I have notes, if I can find them. So twin flames, we talked about star seeds. I'm sorry for making all this noise. I was talking about souls being 2 or 1, which is that it? I don't know. I'm horrible. All right, so wherever it is here. So I believe that I'm under the school of thought that it can be 2 different ways depending on where you're from. So, and I believe that star seeds, and I don't think all of us are star seeds. Some of us, Lemurian or Lantian, and I do believe that we come from this area, but there are others that don't. But I believe that we all have one creator to this universe. And with that, I do believe there's free will. But I think that there are different rules for different places. So talking about twin flames, my opinion is, depending on what type of star seed you are, you may be one soul that's split apart, or you are 2 souls that come together. So saying that, and I'm still looking for my notes here, even though I just wrote them, but one of the reasons why you come here to find your soulmate, and you don't always find your soulmate. Sometimes your soulmate passes and they find you when they are on the other side. But one of the reasons is for you to be aware that you are a soul and the gifts that you have. We have all of the gifts. It's just like a musician. A musician can play the guitar, they can sing, they can write, but usually there's something particular that they do that they're an expertise on. They are a fantastic singer, a good guitarist. So that's the same way with our gifts. We can be great at hearing someone on the other side, like loved ones, but we may not be able to, I was going to say, talk to pets as my cat walks down. So maybe that's not your expertise. So when your twin flame comes, what happens is you awaken to all of these gifts, and usually downloads will start to happen, and then the dark night of the soul hits you because you don't understand what the heck is happening, and you feel like you're losing your mind because usually it's your guide that's talking to you, telling you who you are, that you aren't just a human, that you really are hearing someone across the veil. It's not your grandmother, it's another being. It could be an angel, it could be just something else. Many types of entities over there, elementals. And so your dark night, you're going through all this, but yet you've met this person and you're trying to figure out why you recognize them. It's usually in the eyes when you look at them. The first time you kind of noticed, if you did the 20-year gap, which a lot of twin flames do, so that you can experience all this life in between, and then you take it all with you when you meet them. And it's like, when you see them, you look in their eyes, you see their soul, and you're recognizing yourself, basically. Either you're recognizing your own soul, or you're recognizing a soul that you became one with, and now you are one. So you're recognizing your own spirit, your own vibration, your own frequency. We're unique. We're like snowflakes, even across the veil. There are millions, trillions, whatever it is that you may believe, we are all unique. But when we meet our twin flame and we become one, we are also unique in our oneness together. It's like I'll use an example like a marriage on earth. Like there's only those two people, they make up one. So you have your own uniqueness with your twin soul, with your twin soul, your twin flame counterpart. So when you recognize them, you see yourself. You see this love that you have, and you come into union. Where it gets tricky is that they may not wake up with you. They may not want to ascend. They may not be ready to ascend. I mean, that's ultimately what you're doing. That's why you met them. So that's why they talk about the runner chaser. Now, if you have abuse and all of that, I don't subscribe to that type of twin, at least not in that way. And that gets into a lot. But that's why I say that you have a runner, because they don't understand what's happening. It's almost like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you're like, oh no, we got to do this. We have things to do. Your soul's like, no, we got to go save the world. We have a mission. That's why we're here, to ascend and to bring love and light to the world. So you have the push and pull, and then it could go on until you leave here, or they could awaken and you actually create something. So, but that is roughly what a twin flame is. And that's what happens when you meet them. And then of course your soulmate is your soulmate, and you may stay with your soulmate the rest of your life and have a twin flame in your life as well. A lot of people do that. They have a twin flame. They're not in a romantic relationship, but they're in union, and they go out and they do service together, which is very beautiful to do. And then you have your soulmate that you spend your life with. And then when you go across the veil, you make a decision on what you want to do. If you want to stay with your soulmate, your twin flame, I would imagine you go with your twin flame. But again, it's all about free will, which is the beauty to our eternal life, I believe. But time is running out. I just want to thank everyone for listening. And I send healing to Vinny and to anyone else going through that, and anybody that's a twin flame that's having a hard time. Love and light to you. Namaste. And I am thinking of you, and I understand the journey. I really do.